Hey guys, Credible Crypto here. Wanted to make a market update since we've seen some pretty drastic progression from where we were in our last video. Last video was made about a week ago, and we were at that point we were consolidating about 3.6 thousand. I had this order block drawn in the last video as well. These levels have not been adjusted at all, and this is the progression that we've seen since the last video. So as you guys know, for a couple of weeks I've been expecting an ultimate move to 4.3 to 4.5 thousand, and we are well on our way at this point in time. We're going to talk about both Bitcoin, or we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum in this video, and I'll update you guys on what I'm seeing, key levels to look at as well, and what I'm expecting here in the days to come. So starting with Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, we had a rather long period of consolidation, lasted longer than I would have expected. I was expecting a quicker move to the upside, but we had a very long period of consolidation here. Tested this OB multiple times, eventually ultimately ended up popping to the upside here. At this point I'm still holding all my longs from 3300s, and I added some here at the 3500s. Did reduce my exposure on this wick, but ended up rebuying. If you're in my Discord, you know I rebought soon after the next morning because I didn't want to miss out on the impending move. So for Bitcoin, everything is looking great, guys. If you recall in my last video, we talked about Litecoin, and Litecoin had already hit this overbought territory. It was the first of the majors to actually start moving, and it's actually now running out of energy as both Ethereum and Bitcoin are now taking most of the attention and making the moves at this point in time. We talked about how Litecoin was ahead of the game and how we'd expect both Bitcoin and Ethereum to follow soon, and now they've officially begun to do that. For Bitcoin, key levels that I'm looking at are between 3.9 to 4,000 as the initial level of resistance. We've already hit 3,920 today, and I'm expecting us to stall here for a little bit as we consolidate before the next push higher. 3.9 to 4,000 is really the only block that's in the way of us getting to 4.3 to 4.5 thousand, which is my ultimate target. So not much else in the way once we can get past this 4,000 level. So that's the key level that I'm looking at for us to break. I'm not going to be taking any profits at this point in time. I'm just going to be holding till we break this level, or unless we see some sort of a massive rejection or something that tells me that we're not going to continue higher. For now, as we can see on the daily, we've seen a massive volume spike, similar to the volume spike that we got from these lows, and I'd expect that to only get stronger as we move into overbought territory here on the daily. No divergence is present on any major time frames over the last few days, so there's nothing really to be concerned about here. There's no signs of the bullish momentum waning at this point in time. That is the update on Bitcoin, guys. For Ethereum, which we'll talk about next, Ethereum has also made a massive move to the upside on even stronger volume than Bitcoin. We haven't seen this type of volume on the daily for a very long period of time, guys. Ethereum is absolutely killing it right now, blowing through each and every resistance like it's butter. So unfortunately on Ethereum, I got caught up in this small movement here, and I did miss out on the majority of this move to the upside. And that is definitely a lesson to be learned. Got busy scalping this time frame. I think I made 2 scalp trades here. So I bought at like 115, sold at 120, bought at 117, sold at 119 or 120. I did that twice, and yes, so I captured two $3 moves, two $4 moves. So I captured like an $8 to $10 move here, but then I ended up missing out on this $25 move here. So it was not a net gain for me. As a lesson to be learned. Important thing, guys, if you are going to be trading these smaller time frames, not to get caught up in the small stuff. We knew that a massive move to the upside was coming. I just got very greedy here and tried to make a few extra bucks, and that caused me to lose out on this big move to the upside. So now I'm looking for re-entry on Ethereum. On Bitcoin, I've pretty much got all the fills that I want, so I'm not really looking to add to Bitcoin, but I do want to add to Ethereum. And the key levels that I'm looking on to add to on Ethereum are between this 140 and 150 level. So what we have here, guys, this green level is a key daily resistance level, which is now support level, but it was a key daily resistance level that we broke, and it will now act as support. And I'm looking to add on a retest of this level. So so far on the daily, we have resistance here in the 150s, and we have support here on 140. So this would be the ideal place to enter before we push again to the upside. I do believe that this 150 will ultimately break, and once we do break it, I am targeting the 170s, this cluster of consolidation right here, and then above that, I'm targeting the 200s, which I think is where this rally will ultimately end for Ethereum. So I do think we still have a ways to go for Ethereum, just like we do for Bitcoin. Bitcoin still has another $400 to $500 move to the upside left, and I believe that'll carry Ethereum at minimum to the 170s, if not to the 200s. So I am looking to enter more longs on Ethereum in the low 140s. If we do lose this level in the daily, that would be very concerning. I don't expect us to lose 140 in the daily. If we do, again, that would be quite concerning. So I'm going to be watching this key level carefully. On Litecoin, let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is the only coin, guys, out of the majors that I'm not too comfortable in as far as adding on or taking any new plays on this at this point in time. So we know that Litecoin, of the three, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, Litecoin had already made a trip into the 70 plus RSI levels on the daily earlier, like a week ago or something, and it's now making its second trip into that level. On both Ethereum and Bitcoin, we're making our first entry in this overbought territory, right? So there's Ethereum and there's Bitcoin, right? So we're making our first entry just now into this overbought territory. Litecoin, however, has already made its entry into that level, and it's now making a second entry. Furthermore, Litecoin has already made higher highs. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have not yet made higher highs on the daily. Litecoin already has done that, and it's approaching this massive level of resistance in the 50s. Now, this level here is the same level. It's equivalent to Bitcoin at 6,000. This is where Bitcoin is basing at 6,000. So this level is equivalent to that massive level of support, which is now going to be a massive level of resistance. And for Ethereum, this is equivalent to the $200 to $220 level for Ethereum. So Litecoin's kind of ahead of the game. It's already reached its what I believe to be its highest level of targets. It can burst higher from here, sure, but the risk to reward right now for a long for Litecoin is not something that I like. So on top of that, we see that we're probably going to see a bearish divergence here form on Litecoin for the daily, which is quite a bearish sign. We're running into massive resistance. We're seeing a bearish divergence, and we're hitting this level of resistance that's equivalent to Bitcoin at 6,000. So I wouldn't be looking for any sort of longs on Litecoin, and I believe that the upside potential on Litecoin is limited. On top of that, if we look at the volume, we're seeing volume declining from this spike to this spike. So we had massive volume here. Our volume on the daily has declined. We can see this decline in the volume. So Litecoin is the only coin that I wouldn't be looking to long at this point in time. Both Ethereum and Bitcoin have room to go, guys. And ultimately, Ethereum I'm expecting to break 160, touch 170, and ideally get to 200. Again, this is the key level. This is equivalent to Bitcoin at 6,000. The idea here is that if Bitcoin really is going to make a push to 4.3 to 4.5 thousand, then we have a ways to go. And with both Bitcoin and Ethereum just now entering overbought territory in the daily, we have quite a bit of upside momentum left in us before we start seeing a decrease in momentum. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum look good to continue to the upside here. Again, key levels, guys, before I wrap up this video, not much else to talk about, everything going according to plan. But key levels you want to look for on Bitcoin, around 3.9 to 4,000. If we break above that, then clear skies, in my opinion, to 4.3 to 4.5K, which is our ultimate target. On Ethereum, the key level that I'm looking at right now is this daily support and resistance flip at around 140. Key resistance is going to be around 150. A break above that takes us to 170s, and a break above that takes us to 200s, which I believe is our ultimate target for Ethereum. Again, just in buy the dip mode right now, guys. Loaded up on Bitcoin, but I'm looking at Ethereum. I'm looking to load up on Ethereum here in the low 140s if I can. That's all I really have for this update today, guys. Everything going according to plan. If we take a look at the Elliott wave structure really quickly, I'm just going to touch on this. In my last video, we talked about how we could either be seeing a 5-wave move to the upside. So I talked about either a 5-wave move like this to the upside, or some sort of a 3-wave move, or some sort of a complex correction like a WXY. I now think that the WXY is more likely because we did have this this massive sideways movement, which isn't typical, I would say, of a wave 2 or a wave 4 per se. If this was a wave 2, I'd expect this wave 3 to just bust through here, bust to this level, and we could still get that, in which case this might be a 5-wave move. But if we do encounter resistance here and we start retracing, I'd expect this to be some sort of a WXY to the upside. It doesn't really make a difference as far as the wave structure goes or the targets go. It's just something that I've noted. Same with Ethereum. This could just be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could be a W, which is an ABC, X, and then ABC, which is looking more likely here. So doesn't really make a difference as far as our targets go, but just something I wanted to let you guys know about the wave structure in case you wanted to learn about that. So that's all I have for you guys right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. But yeah, everything going according to plan. And if you stuck with me through this and you bought the low on Bitcoin and you bought in Ethereum, congrats on the gains. Again, if you're not in it already, if you miss out on all the upside completely on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, Important thing is to stick to your plan, whatever that may be, and not to FOMO. Again, look to buy on the dips, look to buy on tests of key support and resistance levels, so you're not making decisions based on emotion. That's all I have for you guys right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. All right, thanks guys.